Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope your day and your week have been going very well so far. This is Clash of the Titans, a video series here at Guy Boston Sports where I go through each and every single ranked matchup throughout the entire college football season, giving you guys deeper insight, deeper analysis, but more importantly, more picks for each of these big-time pivotal college football showdowns. In today's video, we have a good one here, guys. Big Ten showdown. Number 15 ranked USC going on the road to take on number 7 ranked Oregon with massive implications for the Big Ten championship, college football playoff, all those things. And as always, guys, I've got some really great picks to go ahead and share with you. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. All right, guys, with a new week of college football comes some new opportunities to go ahead and make some money. I have 3 picks to share with you guys in today's video. I have a spread pick, I have a team total over pick, and a player prop to close out the video. And one last thing, guys, before we dive into the picks, comment down below who you think is going to win this big-time matchup between Oregon and USC. Let me know down below in the comments. It helps the algorithm, obviously helps us get our views up, but also I like to see what people think about this big time and all of these big time matchups we cover here on Clash of the Titans. All right, guys, with all that said, let's go ahead and break down this game. Starting off with our first pick in today's video. And if you watched my college football picks for week 13, which by the way, if you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and check that out. It's my entire week 13 slate, including some picks from these Clash of the Titan games. I already gave this pick out in that video, doubling down here and going with USC plus 10.5 on the spread. USC plus 10.5, we're grabbing that for minus 118, best odds available to me over on Novig. And look, it's just a lot of points here for Oregon. Now, USC, right off the bat here, so far in 2025, they have a 56% cover rate overall this season, but a 100% cover rate of plus 10.5. They have not lost by more than 10 points in any game this season. 100% cash rate at this line. That's first and foremost one of the biggest reasons why I love this spot. And it's not covering plus 10.5 against garbage teams. They played some good competition. Whether win or lose, they played Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame, Nebraska, Iowa, and a lot of those games they won outright. Now, Notre Dame and Illinois, they lost those games, but they did cover this spread. But Iowa, they beat Iowa last week. Very big win for them. They beat Nebraska at Nebraska. They beat Michigan. Like, they have some solid results on their resume. And again, they haven't been blown out really, besides really the Notre Dame game. The Notre Dame game is the only game this year that USC has lost by more than a single score. This is a competent team, a really strong offense, and a good enough defense to hang with the big boys of college football. Now, Oregon, obviously, top 10 team. They've only lost 1 game this season, which was to Indiana. But I'm a little shakier on Oregon. Now, overall, 50-50 against the spread, not bad. But at this line of minus 10.5, a 70% hit rate. Now, on the surface, that's good, right? 70%, that's well more than half the time. That being said, the 3 times this year they failed to cover minus 10.5. Iowa, Indiana, and Penn State. The 3 toughest games they played this year. Okay, all 3 of those games, they either won by a single score, or in the case of the Indiana game, they lost by 10. Okay, yes, they have covered 10.5. They've beaten up on Minnesota. They beat up on Wisconsin. They beat up on, like, they crucified Rutgers, right? Beat up on Oregon State. You go through the whole list of who they've beaten. That's great and all, but the strength of victory for Oregon this year is really not that impressive. And in these bigger games, they've won 2 of them, right? They played 3 big games, Iowa, Indiana, Penn State. They won 2 of the 3, but it was a struggle to get out of those 2 games. They nearly lost to Iowa. They won that game in the final minutes. And even the Penn State game, they won very narrowly. So when this Oregon team has really been tested, even when they have won, it hasn't been pretty. So when you give me a 10.5 point spread for the number 15 ranked USC, who is coming off a massive win over Iowa, they played good competition and won against good competition. I got to go ahead and give them some credit here. That's a lot of points, even at home to cover. You look at the strength of victory numbers. This obviously compiles the records of all the teams they've played and gives it as a stat. USC tied for 13th in terms of strength of victory this year with a 531 winning percentage for the teams they've beaten this year, which is pretty good. Oregon tied for 62nd. So USC, I'm not saying they're a better team. I'm not saying they have a overall necessarily better resume, but they have beaten some good teams, and they have won some pretty good games. And again, they've hung around in every game this season. Their offense is legitimate. You look at the right side of the screen, excuse me. It's legitimate. Top 10 passing offense, top 30 in rushing yards per game, second in yards per play, solid offensive line, efficient in the red zone. And that's going to be one of the big keys to this game here. USC top 10 in red zone efficiency. Oregon 132nd in defensive red zone efficiency. That's massive in this spot. Keep an eye out on that. If USC can get the ball in the red zone, the rest will work itself out. Now, on the flip side, again, and just kind of looking at Oregon's defense, top 10 scoring defense, I'm not trying to discredit Oregon in any way. They are a very good team. But I think 10.5 is a bit disrespectful to USC. Yes, I know that Oregon's home. I know USC is coming off a very physical, grueling battle with Iowa. But I'll be honest, USC looked better against Iowa than Oregon did. And Oregon just played them a couple weeks ago. And then on the flip side, we go to the Oregon offense versus USC's defense. There are some advantages. The clear advantage being Oregon's rushing offense against this USC run defense. USC's defense is not that great. It's good enough to hang around. It's not great, though. But again, I'm not giving you guys USC money line. I'm not telling you, hey, USC is going to upset here. All I'm saying is 10.5 points is a lot of points. There's some sharp action on USC already. You see where the money's going. The majority of the bets seem to be on Oregon. So we actually go ahead and break down. This is over from Action Network. 48%, so not the majority, but 48% of all the bets at the time of recording are on Oregon spread. This comes from Action Network. They have over 14,000 bets that people have put on their platform. They compile all this information. 48% of people are betting on Oregon spread, yet only 8% of the money is on Oregon. That means that 52% of people are betting USC, but the big bettors, the people with some cash to burn, are backing USC in this spot. That is the sharp money. That is the professional money. Those are the big bettors. Those are the guys you want to look at when it comes to betting on these games. And so USC has that support. One more time, I'm not picking them to upset. I'm not picking the money line, but all I'm saying is, offensively, this USC team is too damn good, and they are just good enough defensively where I think they should be able to hang around here with Oregon and keep the game within 10 points. Again, they beat Iowa. Oregon barely beat Iowa. It should be able to hang around. I think USC is not getting enough credit for how good they are. The worst loss of the year was to Notre Dame, and they had 3 turnovers in that game and still kept that game within 10 points. So give me USC here on the spread, plus 10.5. And for my second pick in today's video, again, kind of just calling my shot here and telling you guys I like USC in the spot. I'm going with the Trojans team total over here, 22.5 points, which I am grabbing for minus 145 over on DraftKings. Again, USC's offense has been unbelievable all year long. Top 10 scoring offense in all of college football. They've cashed this team total over in 90% of their games this season, averaging 38.2 points per game this year. The only game this year that they failed to cash this over was on November 1st against Nebraska. They had 21 points in that game. Now again, Oregon, top 10 scoring defense, only giving up 13.7 points per game. But the 2 games I'm looking at as the closest indicators of what USC can be, Indiana scored 30. I'm not saying USC is Indiana, but obviously their offense is at least pretty close to the tier that Indiana's is, right? And on the flip side, Penn State scored 24. We need 23 points. If Penn State, which by the way, since then have been a disaster, fired the coach and all that stuff, if they can score 24, I think USC can score 23. They're averaging 38 points per game. I understand you're not going to match that average when you're playing a team like Oregon on the road as well. But I do think that USC here, 23 points for a team that's averaging big offense, big potential, very efficient scoring team. 23 points for them in this spot. Whether they're losing in garbage time, they need to come back. Whether it's a tight game, whatever the case may be, I think USC can definitely score 23 points in this spot. Now, we've got one more pick left in today's video, guys. But first, before we dive into that player prop, our final play, I want to talk to you guys about the sponsor of today's video, Novig. If you guys have not dabbled into peer-to-peer exchanges, you are absolutely missing out. Using Novig allows you to get unbeatable prices and lines on just about every game. Why? Because there's other users that are excuse me, let me try that again. This is my 4th video of the morning, guys, so I do apologize for the fumble there. It's the other users who are setting the lines. We're not looking at the sports books. The sports books are not the ones giving us the lines on Novig. It's the other users. They're setting the odds. You're competing with them, not the big time books. Peer-to-peer is growing at a crazy rate, and you guys don't want to be late to this. Sign up for Novig today using the link down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comment. We'll have it in the pinned comment and the description as well. Bet $5 and get $50 in bonus bets today. It's that easy. It's that simple. Use our link. Bet $5, get $50 in bonus bets. As you can see from the first pick, the USC plus 10.5 pick, the best odds available, for me at least, were on Novig at minus 118. So they give you a lot of great value on these lines, some better value than a lot of the other big sports books can provide. Check out Outlier, sponsor of today's video. Shout out to them. And yeah, make sure to check them out. All right, guys, and our third and final pick in today's video, like I said, is our player prop here. And I'm going with Jayden Maiava of USC over 243.5 passing yards. Now, I understand I am kind of going all in on USC here, and I'm really kind of discrediting Oregon's defense a bit. And it's not about that I don't think they're a good defense at all, but I do think that USC needs the credit it deserves as a passing offense here. And Jayden Maiava, he's cashed this in 8 of 10 games this year. He's averaging over 285 passing yards per game this season. And he's played some good defenses. Michigan, Iowa last week, he had 254 passing yards. Northwestern, Nebraska, and Michigan State. Those are the only 2 teams this year he failed to cash the over against. But really good numbers across the board here. He's looked fantastic. I mean, I know Oregon, they're not giving up many yards. You look at the last couple of games. I mean, Gronowski had 138. Drake Lindsay had 138. But again, these are not great quarterbacks, save for Athan Kaliakmanis. I will never slander that guy. Greeks stick together. But that being said, I do think that he's going to be able to move the ball here. The big thing here is that where he struggles this season has been under pressure. Well, this Oregon pass rush is not elite in the slightest. Tied for 100th in sacks per game and tied for 95th in QB hits. They can't bring pressure, and that's sort of where you have to beat USC and make Jayden Maiava uncomfortable is with pressure. He has really struggled this year. If you can't pressure him and you give him time in the pocket, and USC does have a pretty solid offensive line, he's going to go ahead and cook. And that's why I think in this spot, considering that Oregon's not going to be able to put too much pressure on him, he should be able to go ahead and cash this over and have success. Again, there's multiple ways to cash this, whether it's a close game and they're just throwing the ball well, or garbage time, they're trying to come from behind and make it close, throwing the football, right? So either way, I think they're going to throw the ball a healthy amount here and have success throwing the ball, despite the fact that Oregon is the best pass defense in the nation in terms of yards per game. I still think Jayden Maiava can get the job done here on the road here against Oregon. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. We'll be back next week with some more college football picks. Until then, guys, I hope you're all winners. Let's go ahead and make some money.